Bons Cue PH discussed the possible source of the Philippine Air Force's F-16, which could be from 4 European countries. Today, we will discuss the other non-European source of the PAF's fighting Falcons, and that country is the State of Israel. The information regarding Israel Air Force F-16s was initially shared with Bons Cue PH in 2022. The initial offer was made in the remaining months of the Duterte administration, but it has been said that administration leaders decided to pass on the decision-making about the offer to the incoming new administration that will be elected in the May 2022 national elections. This is also to avoid the deal being tagged as a midnight deal of the Duterte administration. The offer made then is for a squadron-size F-16 Block 40 Barak fighting Falcons. The Barak is a heavily modified variant of F-16 Block 40 with Israeli-made avionics and technology that enable it to accommodate Israeli-made sensors and weapon systems. The Barak is the Israeli-modified variant of the F-16 Block 40 as the Japanese Mitsubishi's F-2. The offer was reintroduced again to the new administration of President Bongbong Marcos Jr. and was studied by the Department of National Defense already under the leadership of Secretary Gilberto Teodoro. This time, from a squadron-size F-16 Barak that was being offered in the last months of the Duterte administration, the quantity was increased to 2 squadrons, but it's not only the Baraks that Israel is offering to the Philippine government but other Israel Defense Forces items as well. The offer was also made with a financing scheme that is payable by the Philippine government for a specific number of years. This offer from Israel was referred to as the mega deal. This type of bundle offer is not only exclusive to Israel, but other countries also have the same offers as in the case of India and France. Israel is keen on disposing some of their F-16s to give more space for their newly acquired F-35 Lighting II Adir, which they are already inducted into service. The F-16 Barak the Israel Air Force has is a technologically advanced and powerful fighting Falcon variant, and with the Philippine Air Force, which is also in possession of the Phyton 5 and I-Derby air-to-air missiles, this aircraft is a perfect fit for PAF. Not to mention that the data link system PAF and AFP have developed is integrated by Israeli defense companies, namely Rafael Advanced Defense and Elbit Systems. The Barak is indeed a technologically capable multi-role fighter, though several things might concern PAF. First, is the lifetime remaining on the Barak's airframe. Compared to European armed forces, the Israel Defense Force has a much higher tempo of operations. Israel is a state in constant vigilance to protect their existence, and with this, their assets, especially its combat aircraft, are frequently used in different operations. Operations that will result in additional stress on those airframes after being used for many years. With this as a concern, the aircraft may not be used for the desired number of years that the Philippine Air Force prefers to have and might end up with the same fate as those F-8 Crusaders that the Philippine Air Force has only used for a decade. This might be the reason we believe that PAF will prefer to have those European F-16s, as their airframe has a much longer lifetime compared to the Israelis' F-16s. The other concern is the approval for the transfer of those fighting Falcons from Israel. In 2019, the United States rejected the request from the Croatian government for the transfer of the same F-16 Barak from Israel. As we discussed before regarding third-party arms transfers, the United States government will need to approve the transfer of any items with their technology involved in it, like the F-16. And Bons Cue PH believes the United States government prefers the F-16 from those European Union countries as a potential source of F-16s for the Philippine Air Force rather than sourcing it from Israel. Even if the Philippine government would prefer to have those Israeli F-16s but the United States will be offering from another source, the Philippine government has no choice but to follow the United States government's preference because, in the end, it's them who will approve the transfers. And is evident as well from the statement made by Senate President Miguel Zubiri when he disclosed the information about those European F-16s that they have been in discussions with United States Department of Defense officials about those European fighting Falcons, and those are the F-16s the United States recommends the Philippine Air Force to have rather from other F-16 operators. Lastly, the cost to have those Israeli F-16s might be more compared to those of Royal Danish and Netherlands Air Force's fighting Falcons. With the national government struggling to have additional funds for the AFP modernization program, budgetary constraints are always a concern, and this will force the DND to have items that are capable enough but within the reach of the country's financial capacity.